Time to hand out another Midco Sports game ball, and this week it goes to somebody having a monster season. Brenden Begeman of Herreid Selby Area put up another 300-yard rushing game. This time, it earns him one of these. Let's get to his performance a little later and the rest of the top performers from last week.
Waylon Boley led Corsica-Stickney with a 200-yard rushing performance against Freeman Mary and Freeman Academy in a 48-18 win. The freshman running back has emerged as the main weapon for the surging 6-1 Jaguars. Speaking of surging, the Aberdeen Central Golden Eagles have won 4 in a row, thanks in part to Carson Sarda. He rushed for 188 yards and 2 touchdowns in their 23 win over Brookings. In that same game, Jackson Eck of Brookings made a big impact on defense. Eck has been a tackling machine this year and was in on 19 tackles for the game. He also forced his 4th fumble of the season and recovered a fumble last week. Juven Hudson is one of the brightest young stars in the state. He exploded for a 259-yard game with all 3 arrow touchdowns and a win over Mitchell last Friday. He scored twice in the 4th quarter to secure the Watertown win 24-14. Porter Enan is a D1 basketball prospect with equally good skills at wide receiver. Look at this grab and run, one of his 11 catches on the night for one of his 3 touchdowns for Lennox. Preston Iverson is a dual threat dude for Hot Springs, and one of the reasons that they're in contention this year. Iverson rumbled in for 5 touchdowns on the night and connected through the air for 4 completions. Hot Springs got the compelling 42-0 win over Rapid City Christian. Piers Lincoln Gaynolds became the first 11-man player in South Dakota history to surpass 7,628 career passing yards. He now stands alone as the career yardage leader in 11-man history. Gaynolds put the team on his shoulders once again with a 223-yard performance through the air and another 118 yards on the ground. Gaynolds has thrown for at least 3 scores in every game this season and has had a hand in 43 touchdowns in just 7 games. Ryan Krobe had another monster game for Elkton-Lake Benton. He threw for 4 touchdowns and ran another 2 in. His effort kept the Elks unbeaten with a 64-13 win over Florence Henry. 𝗕𝗶𝗹𝗯𝗃 is our second freshman to make this week's top performance list. The 9th grade quarterback had a hand in each and every point in ORR's win over Sunshine Bible Academy. He ran for 3 touchdowns, threw for another, ran a punt return back for a touchdown, and was involved in every 2-point conversion, running or passing. Abraham Myers is an extremely hard worker, and it paid off last Friday as he got to the quarterback 3 times and made 3 tackles for loss. The future Bison is having a huge senior season for Washington. Braden Sumption helped the Titans to their highest scoring output of the season. The left-handed quarterback ran for nearly 200 yards and accounted for 4 touchdowns, and he did it all in the first half in Leola-Frederick's win. Nelson Wright of Jefferson played in his first full game in over a month, and he made his presence felt. 23 carries, 173 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the senior All-State performer in their 46-0 shutout over Stevens. But the ball goes to one of the best ballers we have in this state, Brenden Begeman. At the beginning of the season, he told me 2,000 yards rushing was one of his personal goals. Well, he's right on the cusp with over 1,700 yards on the ground and 25 touchdowns this season, with potentially 5 more games to play. Last week, he put up a huge game with 343 yards and 4 touchdowns against one of their rivals, Potter County. By my count, it's his second 300-yard game of the season and his largest yardage total of the year. Some of the hurdles and shakes that he makes are just plain silly. Big week for the senior, who got his first D1 offer as well. Brenden Begeman keep on balling.